good? How you guys doing? Welcome to the show. It's Beat Can time, man. We're going to be talking about Mike's problem of staying hard and how to help him. And we also got, Chino. I call him Chewy. He's in mourning right now. His cousin Easy Ray's died on the Mayans. So he is actually in a state of, sorrow right now. And then we got China Doll in the house. Last segment over on the Madhouse, we were talking about some sex and why men need it. But I want to know, Mike, why are you having a problem staying hard? I heard your old lady talking to China Doll, and I didn't know if I should bring this up. And she was talking about a small pecker or something. It's bad enough.
It's been a struggle all my life. I've never been able to figure it out. It's not been like a women thing. I don't know. It's not just a particular woman. It's just,
is it her or what's it going on?
I don't know. I think it comes down to me at this point. No, guys, I've never had that fucking issue. Not for a single day. I don't think I've ever gone through a moment ever.
Did you take my advice and use vape? What was it? Vapes?
The Vicks vapor rub that one dude actually listened to you and did it. Yeah. No,
did it like ruin you or something?
I learned when I was like a kid. Oh yeah, the icy hot. I learned when I was like a kid, just soap alone, a bar soap in like your freaking bathroom, the Dove. That's so light. No, that shit will burn the shit out of you. I learned that as a kid. So, I mean, I'm not going to put any other shit on there. I'm not going to put icy hot on there. Come on, man. So
you just spit on it.
Hell no. No spit. Proper 4 pushes of lubrication. 4, which would be lotion.
Dude, you're only a real man.
Did you say you only last 4 pushes?
No, you get 4 pushes, 4 pumps. 4 pumps.
No wonder she's pissed off at you.
Well, at least she gets 4.
Hollywood. You too, Hollywood. You're in that fucking same boat.
I only get 2. She at least gets 4. God, she's up on me.
See, everybody knows I'm in the blow and glow club, and I just do me. But damn, man, Mikey,
Mikey likes it.
I guess.
So
Chewy, I heard Marines have a hard time getting it up, man. That's what the sailors tell me.
I have no idea what you're talking about. We have a hard time stop doing stuff.
I heard Marines are hard charging and stuff like that, but when it comes to sex, man, you guys kind of fall off.
I have no idea what you're talking about, man. Like, it's nonstop. I kind of have a problem, I guess.
Oh, you got a problem.
Oh, you got.
Yeah,
do you think about sex all the time?
Yeah, it's part of my PTSD, I guess. It's how I deal with my trauma.
So you go through a lot of lube because you don't spit on it either.
Yeah, let's go with that. I do not spit. I just, produce.
Oh my God. I love this comment. They get wood when they eat crayons.
Oh.
Crayola or Rosart,
So the Bet Rim podcast, Mike says you're a major stockholder in Johnson & Johnson. And I'm wondering if you're a stockholder in Viagra.
No, you're both talking about yourselves over there, okay? Easy. I have nothing to do with Johnson & Johnson, all right?
Mike over here getting salty and shit. They're talking about my pepper and I can't get it hard, honey. Can you come and tell them I get it hard?
All you have to do is go to a gas station and get that horny goat weed, and it lasts, and it actually works.
Well, that's some California shit.
There's some advice from Chewy right there.
That's some California shit. You know what I mean? The rest of the country can't do that.
We don't have that shit. I work at one. We don't have that shit.
Why do you think Mike can't get it hard, China?
Well, I mean, either he has erectile dysfunction or there are a few other reasons why.
Could I be stressed?
Let's hear one.
Well,
stop right there. He just said stressed. He's stressed. So I think Hollywood is getting somewhere with Mike here. He has finally admitted he has a problem.
We're gonna work it out. Let's
Motorcycle.
talk it out.
You need to be on the couch today, Mikey.
Yeah, I got a couch back here too. I can sit back there and actually listen. I'll lay
Have
my head down.
Have you, Chewy, ever been in a situation, and I know this sometimes this happens, when you're with a new chick, you just can't get it hard? He knows. He just got cold busted.
So I have an epic fail moment when I was in high school.
Tim got
I had a
nervous.
crush on this one. I was in Oakland and I had a crush on this one girl who also does modeling, right? And she was way out of my league. And I got to take her on a date, and we go up to the Oakland skyline, the hills, and we got to see all super romantic and all that stuff, right? We start, doing the business in the back seat, and then some car comes up and parks right behind me with his brights on, shining inside my my car. I'm freaking out thinking it's the cops. She's freaking out. Then the car just drives away, right? And we notice it's just a regular car. We try to get back to it, and all of a sudden, I can't do anything. It's just dead in the water like a fish. It's like, oh my gosh. And she literally looks at me in the eyes and says, "Are you having an epic fail moment?"
No way.
And I'm
called out by a model.
And this was a girl that I had a crush on for like 4 years, and I finally get to do it, and boom.
Yep.
And you failed.
How long did it last between you? Did you guys have a second date, or she went to somebody who actually could get it up?
No, we stayed friends, but we never did anything.
Oh,
else.
that's cold. That's code word for he didn't get a second shot.
Dude, you got friend zone.
No shot.
Friend.
I think it's better if we just remain friends.
How about you, Mike? You ever been in that situation where, you're with somebody new and stuff, and you just couldn't get the wood to go up?
I don't have this issue, guys. I don't know why you guys have this issue. Who's having this issue in this world? I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not having this issue. Never have.
It's all right, man. You're here with Dr. Hollywood. You don't have to be self-conscious and stuff.
We're working.
Hey,
we're working.
Dr. Hollywood. I thought this problem happens with older people in the higher generation.
Doctor.
See, it does.
Like someone's projecting.
Well, let me tell you the truth here. It does happen with the older generation, especially if you've been with a woman so long. It's like you look at her and it's like, dude, no, thank you.
Oh, come on now.
Because they get old and it's like, no, thank you. That's our problem. It's not erectile dysfunction. It's just we look at the same one that we've been looking at for the last 29 years. That's the problem. You young ones get that tight ass, nice young stuff. Us, man, we get cobwebs.
What the fuck? I do not have cobwebs. You might, but I don't.
Dang.
So it's not projecting. I'm just trying to help you younger guys out. You got to keep it fresh, man. You do.
Let me help you out then. This is what you got to do. Like for my 30th birthday, this is what I did just because, it was fun. You guys got to go to one of those swinger clubs, like the strip clubs or something like that. And you
I used to own I used to own a swingers club, dude.
There you go. And then and then we could talk about that next. And then both of you guys can have like amazing things with other people. You just bring them all in and then, do your thing. And
that's why swinger clubs are the best, dude. You get to pop somebody and they go home. You don't have to deal with them.
But you still have to go home with your same wife.
Well, that's why I sleep in a different room. It's like, see you later. Coochie cobwebs, as Geo says, but I'm trying to help Mike out here, man.
Okay, I got a question.
The longer you stay with your old lady, the more cobwebs she's going to get.
How is this going to work when you sleep in two different rooms? How does this work? You got to walk me through the process of sex. When you sleep in two different rooms, does he come in and barge in whenever he wants?
Yes, pretty much.
And he just goes, surprise, motherfucker. Like I'm here, and all of a sudden, like it's spring into action moment,
No, you always know when
Get
Hollywood.
the fuck out of my room, Hollywood.
You always know when Hollywood wants something because he'll lay next to me on my bed and just look at me, and I'll be like, "Can I help?"
See, Mike, you got to get to the point in your life where you can give the look, and we have a good understanding. It's like Hollywood gets the blow, and then he goes, and then you do your thing.
What you'll hear is him blowing his load, and then all of a sudden walking down the stairs.
Creak, 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 creak. Right back down to the studio.
My border collie does that whenever it wants water. Just stares at me.
No, that's not what your border collie wants.
Now Chewy probably can testify to this. Chewy can, because he's Latino. Mike, here's what you got to worry about, okay? Now, I love a bomb-ass Latina, okay? I love a bomb-ass Latina. If it wasn't for China now, I'd be with one right now. The problem with them is they age, they get fat asses, and their boobies hang down to their, knees, and they don't look as good as they used to when they were younger. So that's what you got to look forward to. So I hope, you got something on the side. I hope you leased it and didn't, buy that thing.
Obviously, someone's never seen Sofia Vergara.
Mikey's not married. Remember that.
Well, at least he's
Selma
smart.
Hayek.
I might as well be, to be honest, but
well, at least you're leasing it because you're in a communist state where they get half your shit.
Well, we did discuss this in a prior episode, but I will not be getting married by the state. I'll be getting married by the church. Simple. I'm not going to be going to the state with my shit. Plain and simple.
So for the state, he's still considered single, and so is she.
Correct.
But in the eyes of the man upstairs, they will be married.
Correct.
Don't do it.
In the eyes of God. In the eyes of God. Well, she still has to earn it.
Oh
damn.
Oh
damn.
I bet you won't say that to her face.
I have said it to her face.
She'll probably take your other leg.
Yeah, she will. She will chop it off. Trust me. And then I can be as tall as I want, guys.
So in a locker room setting, as guys, we all know this to be true because we talk all kinds of shit. Have you ever overheard or heard from a friend, Chewy, they couldn't get it up and couldn't get it going?
All the time. You know how many Marines get Viagra from a prescribed medical? A lot of people don't know this, but you get like 10% disability just for telling the doctor that you have ED.
So the Navy sailors were right. The Marines can't get it up.
No, it's not that they can't get it up. It's just they do it so often. Like they get the Viagra's, then they in the barracks or something like that.
That must be almost successful.
That must be the side effect to the Crayolas.
It might be. My brother was
a lot of people that can't. Go ahead. Sorry.
My brother was a Marine, and this was in the 80s when Subic Bay was still open in the Philippines.
Oh yeah,
and
he was there.
He used to get some slant-eye, cross-eyed stuff over there, and he's right, man. They would pump all they could in Subic Bay. They would. Yeah. It was like a Marine's paradise.
Yeah. Anywhere Marines go, we make it our paradise.
And now I got a question for you though, man. You're an American, you're a Marine. So when you were overseas, did you get any of that Arab stuff?
No, I didn't, because on the base that I was at, there was nothing but male Arabs or Muslims around us.
Well, I heard they do sheep, and I heard they do, they bend each other over and stuff. So why didn't you get any?
I can testify they do in fact do that. I was kicking down doors. We're doing what's called routine inspections of like the Connex boxes where some of them live. And while we are knocking on one of the doors, one of them comes up and starts pulling up his sweats. And there's another guy like laying face down on the couch.
Oh, I knew.
Damn.
They don't care over there. It's like boys are for pleasure and women are for babies.
That's
like
the way it
triple-
is over there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
God,
They
that's a
even say what their military does. Their military is disgusting, but I'm not going to say that on here.
Well, you just did.
the things we learn.
The more you know.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I did not know that.
Oh, they
Yeah.
like it. They like it
I'm
in
not
the
gonna
butthole.
explain. I'm not going to explain what this is, but you should look up what a chai boy is to a military platoon in the Afghanistan National Army.
How you spell that? I'm gonna look it up.
That's
all
basically
for it right
no.
now.
That's kind of like the Japanese brothels back in World War II, but they're talking about a guy who satisfy. That's his whole job is to satisfy the soldiers, right?
Yeah, but you're stretching the
What?
term guy.
Are you like traumatized?
Anyways, let's move on because that is a traumatizing thing. Like we weren't allowed to say or do anything about it when we were over there.
Oh, well, makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's move on.
Okay, go ahead. We'll go around the
Ew.
table here, China Doll. Bring a subject up here.
If the man does not trust you, he won't get it up for you.
Mike.
I don't know, man. I've trusted and not trusted a lot of women and still been able to do it. So I don't know what they're talking about with trust. Trust?
Well, you want to make sure they don't got BD or some shit. Have you ever stuck it in somebody, Mike, that the next day you were like, oh shit?
Nah, no, not where I was like regretting it or anything. I just don't care.
You haven't lived. Go ahead, Chewy.
Okay.
Of course, I think most people had the that walk of shame, right? Even men get it, where right after you roll over and you're like, why the fuck did I need to stop drinking?
I just didn't put myself in those kind of situations.
I forget you don't drink.
Not like that.
Mikey's just prude.
No, I think Mikey needs to come out here, hang out with me, and I'll just turn him terrible.
No, you wait until you come over here on the West Coast and you think that I'm some sort of baby over here, like I haven't fucking lived or something like that. Come over here. Come over here. I'm gonna show you what it's like out here. Stop the playing. You capping.
Mike over here getting upset, man. What the hell is up with Michael today?
Holly was just gonna go ask all his former lovers. So how was Mike in the sack? Was he any good?
I'd never thought
I already established it's 2 pumps.
No,
I'm 4.
Hollywood's 2.
I'm 2, man. Well, see, Mike's 4. I'm 2. I'm half. So when he gets my age, he'll go down to 2.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Chino, how many pumps are you at?
When they think you're only gonna last 30 seconds, but it ends up being like 3 hours, and they're tired and destroyed.
Oh, you're bullshitting.
I call bullshit.
I've had that happen.
Chewy's probably one of them guys that sit there and cuddle afterwards.
Yeah, I am. I do like to cuddle. Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah. You got to make them feel good after you just blew out their back.
You gotta get them to come back,
So, Mike, is this like a sensitive subject? I never seen you get upset before.
I'm not upset. But when you think that I haven't lived, motherfucker, you got issues.
Road Rage says after little Mikey gets out of junior high school, he will live out his wild life.
You been Disneyland? I don't know what that means.
By the way, Mike's going to be having a YouTube channel. What's coming up on your YouTube channel, Mike?
So I've got quite an array of stuff. You guys already know that I'm into the bike scene and all of that stuff, but that's not really what I'm really going to be focusing on. It's going to be this type of content, but also I'm going to be talking about amputation stuff as well. I'm going to be talking about how I ride with a leg. I'm going to teach everyone that is an amputee how the proper steps in order to get back onto a motorcycle, those kind of things. I'm going to be giving a step-by-step process of like how I recovered, what I did, stuff like that in order to help just the general audience that goes through something like what I did. You know what I mean? So I can help. If it's only a couple people, then great. You know.
When are you gonna be going live, or when you gonna get this sucker going?
Probably within the next week. There's complications in the back only because of videos and stuff like that haven't been backed up and all that. Once all those are backed up, then I can start throwing a whole bunch of content out there, which I'm going to do. I'm going to be going live. I'm going to be going live in between our shows and stuff like that on my own personal channel now. Thank you, Hollywood, for giving me, which is amazing. So yeah, Insane Wheels, guys. It's lit. It's lit, man. Come check it out.
Now, we were all joking, having fun for the first 20 minutes, but I want to get kind of serious here, Chewy. What does it do to a man if they are having a hard time getting it up? Does it make them feel less of a man?
Honestly, I don't know. I've never actually had that problem, but I could assume that it makes you feel less of a man, because a lot of things that society sees is the value of a man has something to do with his loins, right? Or his sexual prowess.
Well, how did you feel that one time that you couldn't get it up? Did you feel less of a man then?
Super demasculated.
Okay,
that
so
was probably
there you go.
one of the lowest points. You're right. Thank you for bringing that up and throwing it in my face.
We just spoke about it.
China Doll.
Yeah. Now I'm starting to regret it.
So China Doll, as a woman and speaking on behalf of women, how do you look at it when a man couldn't get it up as a woman?
That we're not good enough.
So it goes psychological on the other side.
It does, that we're not good enough. We're not attractive enough. You're not attracted to us because we can't get you hard.
Excited, even though it might not be your fault.
Right. But it's going to make us feel less of a woman because of the fact that it wouldn't get up.
So basically, Mike, the incident where a man can't get excited has psychological effects on both parties.
I'd imagine so, because the woman, she's got to be thinking the whole time, like, what is it about me that's wrong? Like, what is it about me that is he not, like, he doesn't like me, or do I not look okay? Like, she'll start tripping herself out. And then the guy is doing the same shit, but he's like, oh my God, like trying to figure it out, trying to pick up all the pieces real quick, you know? But all of a sudden, you know, it's an end game, you know, it's like 52 card pickup or whatever, you know, you're fucked. So yeah, I feel bad for, you know, people that do go through that, because I can only imagine, you know, going through that and having that struggle. Absolutely. And then having that struggle, like, repeat after time again, like people that actually have this issue, I can only imagine it probably sucks a lot.
So basically, Chewy, how did you recover from that? Did it make you feel, was it just because it was scary that you almost got caught and you waited for this girl for 4 years and you couldn't perform? Did your pride take a hit where it affected you down the road?
Yeah, it made me go in a little bit of a man whore kind of mood or a phase where I just had to keep proving it to myself that I could do it. So I just spread my seed all over California.
Well, do you think that kind of happens, China Doll, where a man feels like he has to recover from an embarrassing incident like that, of, say, you know, he waited 4 years and then he had this supermodel that he wanted to get with? I would probably do the same thing to prove to myself, hey, that was just a freak event.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of it in that situation was nerves, because he was like,
Yeah,
fuck,
absolutely.
we're about to get fucking busted. Because, you know, if they had the brights on, yeah, he's right, it could have been a cop. You're not going to know until they drive off or approach the vehicle on what's going on behind you. Or, I mean, it could have just been a creeper, but
True.
somebody stalking you and wants to watch. I don't know. But I mean, your nerves just set in with something like that happening because you're just like, uh-oh. And then, yeah, there's no way you're going to be able to perform after that. But then at the same time, you know, I'm sure she felt bad and he felt bad. And then he's like, well, fuck this. I got to go prove I can actually, it still works.
By the way, Mike, Rage says he's going to make sure J9 is aware of your channel. She works with physical therapy with lots of amputees.
That's amazing. Wow. I did not know that,
cool
Road
stuff.
Rage. That's crazy.
Now, as far as Mike is concerned here, with your thoughts on this, nerves play into a lot of what goes into a sexual experience.
Right. It does. You know,
It's just like when we
something...
try to have sex the first time, you know, most of the time, you know, guys that are virgins trying to, you know, get them some, they can't get it hard. The question is, how do you handle them nerves as a man?
For me, it was kind of different, you know, because I've been on stage since I was a little kid, man. And so I dealt with nerves so much differently than, I guess, the average person. Like, ever since I was a little kid, I needed to be like up front and center, you know, on the stage. And like that was something that I was okay putting myself into. So I'm using this analogy because those are things that are high pressure, like super high nerve situations, but it's up to that moment if you can perform or not. You know what I mean? And I've had, you know, there are people that get stuck up there and they're like, oh shit, I don't know what to do, or they fumble or whatever. Same thing when you're performing in bed for the first time with a woman or something like that. You could be nervous. It's understandable for people, but for me, I just haven't had that nervous issue. So I would have to probably you have to think more of like, I am the freaking man. Like, I am the boss here, you know? And once you have that mentality, then it's like, okay, she's not going to intimidate me. And not the intimidation. It's just where it's a nervous thing, you know? Because you don't want to be nervous.
Well, don't you think when you're about to do it with somebody for the first time, well, not only is the man nervous, but the girl's nervous. But the biggest thing, aren't you thinking in the back of your mind, am I going to be able to please her? Is she going to enjoy it? Am I going to be able to get hard, stay hard? I mean, you're going to have, and the woman's going to be thinking the same thing. Am I going to be able to do it right? Am I, you know?
Right. Will he enjoy it? You know,
will he enjoy it? Are we going to both get something out of this? Or, I mean, so there's like a lot of shit.
It sounds like it's a lot of psychological stuff going on, you know, when you do decide to lay down with another person, a lot of psychological shit goes on, huh?
Well, you know what? I'm glad you guys brought that up, and I'm going to bring this to Chewy because he mentioned it. It wasn't fun, but it could be kind of serious for a lot of people, is mental issues that could affect your performance, say like PTSD.
Yeah. So PTSD, it'll get you to the point where you're hyper vigilant. Like at least for me, I get hyper vigilant. It's kind of like a paranoia almost, where everything, you notice small details about everything that you usually wouldn't really care about, or you get irrationally angry about something and you just want to hit something. Well, if you translate that during sex, it's just lots of rough, grabby, just violent. I call it berserker sex. Right. Very passionate, but yet also very violent.
Yeah, Rich, you can come on. Here's the link and tell us a story for a second.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
But what do you think, Mike, about the psychological or a mental illness? Does it make it worse? Does it make the mental illness worse if you can't perform?
I would imagine so. I can't speak on that, obviously, because I don't suffer from either of those issues. But I could imagine that having something like PTSD or having any other type of mental issue, I could only imagine that would only affect you in probably a negative way. You know, I don't see it affecting you in a positive way. You know, in bed, I see it affecting you in a negative light. So that's unfortunate.
Right. We're going to bring in Rich right now. He has a quick story for us. He's going to be on the First time on the Bent Rim or not the Bent Rim
You just
podcast.
read his
Hollywoodism.
Hollywoodism at its best right there. We're going to have actually Bent Rim on our show Monday.
Yep.
But let's bring Richard in here and let him tell us his story. What's up, Rich?
What's up, guys?
What up?
So I've got the show like repeating in my ear from like 2 minutes ago.
Oh, okay, you need to get off of the YouTube or whatever, the app. It's in the background.
Yeah, hold on.
Until then, I'll mute him. There we go.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there you go. But Rich is going to come on. He's a long-time listener. Talking about the military, Chewy, has that been a problem with mental illness? And that you were talking about the PTSD where they do get rougher.
Yeah. And some people take it a little too far, obviously. But
right.
Yeah, that's a huge problem. The fact that there's so many never mind. I'm not going to get into that.
Right.
But mental illness is a really big problem in the veteran community.
I can only imagine that.
Exactly. Do you think services have actually gotten better, or has it just stayed the same as far as helping them?
I think it's honestly gotten worse with the VA getting less money or less funding, and the only thing they want to do is throw more and more pills and stuff at you. And
right.
Most of the time, the pills that they throw at you, they're not supposed to be mixed together, and you end up making the mental illnesses worse. And there's nothing you can do about it because you can't really sue the United States government.
Rich, you got to restart to come back in, man, so you can hear me. You just got to restart, and then you can come back in. China, what's another one?
What? Oh, I'm like, what?
Well, I just want to get a full focus here because there's a lot of things that can go into this. I know we joke about it, but it actually could be a serious problem for somebody.
He's just not that into you. You have to be somewhat attracted to a person in one way or another in order to properly perform.
Well, here's Rich again. Let's see if we got him up. What's up, Rich?
Hello.
All right.
Go ahead.
There was this girl. This is a story. I'm trying.
Go ahead. We can hear you.
All right.
Oh, he's got a
See, I'm still got lag.
Yeah. He's like 40 seconds behind.
Yeah.
Hi.
Damn. All right. We're gonna have to remove him because otherwise it's just gonna repeat it for him. So
yeah.
Unfortunate.
But go ahead, Chewy. You were laughing at that.
No, I wanted to ask you, tell us some stories about the Swingers Club.
Yeah, I would like to hear some stories about that.
What about it?
You owned a Swingers Club.
I mean, there's got to be some stories that are off the top. I mean, they're obviously.
What's the wildest thing you've seen?
Well, the wildest thing, I actually kind of called it the pig pen, where we would set up a whole area. We had like the white picket fences and stuff like that. And at, anytime after 10 o'clock, it would be, no, what did you call it? Titties out or something like that. Mm-hmm. But anyway, after 10 o'clock, all the women would go into the pig pen and start doing their thing, man. And no men could go in there. They just could stand around and watch them go at each other.
Sweet.
Yeah, that was one of the things with the Swinger Club.
You could not pass that picket fence unless you were invited by one of the women that were inside there.
Or, when there was
invited.
When there was a birthday,
we would duct tape you to the wall.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Huh. That's
Yeah, but
something
we
that's
can,
never done before.
yeah, we can do a swingers topic next week if you want.
We used to blindfold them and duct tape them to the wall naked.
Damn. That's awesome.
On their
There
birthday.
was
Or
a
the
time.
or the women got put on a gyno table because I had a gyno table, and you know they'd get the whipped cream, the freak, and everybody would
And their legs are up and all that.
yeah,
Legs are up in the stirrups, and the women on their birthdays would get. Everybody would get a lick,
everybody would line up and give a lick.
and you can either use chocolate or whipped cream. You know, whichever.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of that Tootsie Pop?
That's the right question, Gina.
One time, my wife took me to this one nightclub out in TJ, and she paid the DJ to put me up on stage. So they pulled me up on stage and start stripping me naked. They put whipped cream all over my body, and then two strippers had me. They took my belt, and then one stripper had me do push-ups while she was laying on her back, and I was face down in her cream pie, because you know the whipped cream. You know, and then while I push up, stripper slips, hits me with the belt in the back, and I go down. I'm right face first, you know. And then I took a double-sided dildo. Both those women did their thing on top of my chest, while the entire crowd is chanting "Chino, Chino," and it's a packed house. It is 3 stories packed with everybody saying "Chino, Chino." It was wild.
That sounds rad.
Sorry you couldn't come in, man, with your technical problems there. No pun intended. Road rage. When I had nerve damage from my injury, they gave him Viagra. They also gave him painkillers. That's a hell of a combination of trying to go for 3.5 hours and make sure she can't walk.
I think the pain medication is going to counteract that Viagra.
Well, I was about to say, yeah, that painkillers alone is going to probably have a mega effect on you not being able to fucking, you know, have sex.
Well, you know, he brought up a good point
or have
about
sex too long.
Yeah,
or you could have that problem, you know. Absolutely,
because that's also a part of erectile dysfunction is when you last too long. You just can't come.
Well, that is. Well, then you have the fact that some medications that doctors give you take away your libido.
Yeah.
And a lot of
and then you have the problem of like forcing a woman to start their period after sex.
Right.
Ew.
Yeah.
Gino, fucking Chino, a freak, man.
Yeah, let the floodgates out. You know,
Chino, a freak, Mikey. What'd you do here?
We're learning. We're learning today, guys.
He gets her so good that he ain't getting her squirting. She's squirting some Red River.
Damn.
I got my Red Wings.
Do you have your Red Wings?
I was just about to say,
do you have your red wings? Do you have them?
I have multiple rings.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Not that, you know, my club does that.
Ew. So she couldn't cup and go, huh? No. She squirted it on you.
Well, look at this. Princess. She said, I hope everybody was tested and had a show I am clean at the door. Actually, I guess Princess has been in one of these, you know.
In our swingers club, we had baskets throughout the whole entire building with condoms, and condoms were highly recommended.
Well, you got Marianne in here. Let's ask the table about this. A good relationship is not based on a hard dick. Go, Mike.
Absolutely fact. Yep. There's a reason why the term fuckboy is a thing. You know what I mean? He's only good for that. You know, forget that. In order to have a good relationship, it is more than sex. There's so much more to it. Like being a man and actually taking control of let's say your relationship and or family. It's a big ordeal. It's not just, oh, we're gonna have sex. You know, no, there's a lot that goes into this freaking household. I promise you.
What about
not
you?
that sex isn't an important part of the.
It is. It's very important. I'm not gonna throw that away. I'm just saying that it is not the single-handed, like, most important thing within a relationship.
Right.
What do you say,
If
Chino?
you buy a house and it doesn't come with a bathroom, you're going to be pretty upset, right?
Absolutely.
So if in a relationship, the bathroom's not the most important part of the house, but it's very integral. So in a relationship, if you take away the bedroom aspect, then
no, that's well played.
Kind of integral to the entire relationship, right?
No, that's
otherwise
well played.
You just have a really cool friendship.
What do you think, China?
What?
Of
Which
that
part?
statement?
I'm still stuck on Princess Astrid's comment.
We're talking about Marianne right here. A good relationship is not based on a hard dick.
That's 100% true. The sex should be a bonus, not the reason why you're with them.
Interesting. That's an interesting comment, but doesn't it where sex is actually what brings the relationship?
When you're first with somebody, you're not with them because you just had sex, because you didn't have sex yet. You're having conversation, you're eating dinner, you're at a movie, whatever. You're going through the dating thing. It's most people, I'm not saying all, but most people don't fuck on the first date.
Do you buy that, Mike?
Well, yeah, kind of. I kind of buy that. Yeah, you're not having sex on the first date, and most aren't. I would probably say. It's hard to tell, man. I really don't know. I don't know the answer to it.
Chino, what do you think?
I personally have never fucked on the first date. I saved that for the second date.
Was that a thing for you personally that you wanted to do just to show the woman something, or?
Yeah, it was just how I was raised. You're supposed to be chivalrous, but you're still.
Well, chivalry's dead, and women killed it. So.
Well, I'd say society killed it as a whole.
Well,
but yes,
women decided to do that. But yeah, okay.
Well, what do you think about what Pancho just said? He'll have sex on the first date, but he won't go into a relationship after that. Now, do you agree that a woman that has sex China down on the first date is not somebody you want to have a relationship with?
I think so, because she a hoe.
Nah, I don't buy that.
I mean, Hollywood, you got to be honest. We did not have sex.
No, we didn't, because you know what? I would have done the same thing if you would have had sex with me on the first date. I wouldn't have been with you.
We were together a month before we had sex. Literally.
So let me explain. Let me ask you a question. Why is it that with the bad boy, blah blah blah, you'll freaking go have sex with him right away, but then the guy that you actually like, you'll wait? Like you're doing the exact opposite of what the guy actually wants. So it's like, oh, I'm making him wait 3 months. Forget that. I'm not waiting 3 months. Sorry. Move on. There's no way.
We were having so much fun doing all kinds of other stuff that it happened. We just let it happen when it happened. I mean, and it happened to be a month into the relationship. We didn't jump into bed because, hey, we just went out on our first date. Let's go for it. No. I mean, we waited because we just wanted everything to happen on its own time.
What do you think about that, Chino? What is the acceptable time period you think before you have sex with somebody you want to be with?
I think it's different for everybody. Like, I usually waited until the second date, but it wasn't always the case. If I didn't like the person, then we would probably have sex almost immediately. And if I wanted to have like a long-standing relationship, you would build trust and other things before you start that, right? And I think that's where it goes into making someone wait if you actually like them, as opposed to just jumping right in the bed because all you want them for is, carnal reasons.
I think that's true as hell there, Mike. You can see that in almost any relationship, especially with guys, that they'll pump anything around. But when they find that first one, even though they have that instinct to want to do something, they actually forego that.
They don't want to mess it up.
Learn about the person.
Well, with the guys, and he doesn't want to mess it up. You know what I mean? That's what I think. The dude doesn't want to mess it up because he's going, oh, okay, like this might be wifey right here. You know what I mean? Like, woo, I found her. And that's what kind of happened to me, you know. But to answer your question, Hollywood, like how long should you wait? 3 dates at max. 3 dates. That's maximum. If you're going
I guess
past
I'm
3
a hoe.
dates, you're a hoe. No, listen, you're not a hoe. Men cannot be hoes because men are the homemakers. We make hoes.
What do you think?
All right. I should bring a whole bunch of Marines in here, and you tell them that men can't be hoes.
Men are the homemakers.
Nah, men can be hoes.
Well, what is it with the women on the flip end about, you know, because let's just admit, you know, men do it, women can do it. We're just hypocritical when it comes to that stuff.
Well, there's a lot of women out there that'll do it on the first date, but that's to me, that's putting out, making you look bad in a sense.
That's because of what society says.
Because of what society puts out there that, yeah, you're basically a hoe because you're putting out on the first date. But me personally, I'd rather get to know a person before I jump in the sack.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's, you know, unless you know you're not going to be with this person, you're doing like a one night stand kind of thing. I mean, I guess that'd be a totally different scenario. But if I want to have a relationship with that specific person, yeah, they're waiting.
Like how long though? Waiting? You said waiting.
The longest time that honestly was with Hollywood was a month.
Wow, I don't know if I could wait.
I think I think the shortest time was maybe 2-3 weeks. And I mean, I went from one long-term relationship to the next.
Well, I was just about to ask that question.
I went with somebody for 4 years, somebody with 2 years, and then Hollywood for 29.
Now, did you tree branch from one relationship to the other?
I did.
You did? Okay. Just a question. Yeah. I did as well. I did as well.
I was with the first one for 4 years, and then I think I went like maybe 2-3 months without dating anybody at all. Right. Not even like going out.
You need a reset.
And then I was with the next guy for 2 years, and then probably a couple months later, I ran into Hollywood.
Yep. Mm.
So it's like, I think there was only a few months in between, and those couple months, I mean, I was busy with work. I was like a workaholic, so I was always busy at work, or I was just hanging out with the girls. We were just doing our own thing, and I had nothing to do with guys during those couple months.
So do you think it's more difficult for a woman to just jump into a one-night stand if they've been in a long-term relationship, Mike? And then Chino?
Maybe not, because at that mind state, it depends on who broke up with who at that point and how that relationship ended. If she ended the relationship, she may be seeking some sex from anybody. It doesn't matter. You know, she may be like, she just got out of a long-term relationship. She's been waiting. She's not, you know, the guy that she's been with hasn't been pleasing her, obviously. Otherwise, she wouldn't have left. So yeah, I would imagine that it would be on the easier side though, rather than it being a bad thing.
Melissa, Chino just put Melissa Ura. Why would you say that?
Because Melissa's a Marine.
Oh, okay, cool. But what do you?
Rich's old lady is a Marine.
But what do you think, Chino? You think those that are in longer term relationships from one to another, that they have maybe a trust issue before jumping in?
I mean, it could be. I mean, a lot of people, they associate relationships with sex, and some people have a lot of trauma from past relationships. Either the person cheated or they were abusive, so they want to kind of separate the two until they can trust that person and be in a long-term relationship.
100%.
So, you know, our final deal here, is it about the trust in the sex, Mike?
Yeah, now that I really am thinking about it with the psychological aspect of this and how much goes into it, really, I really didn't think about step by step like how we kind of are talking here. But I can understand, especially on the woman's point of view, where the trust needs to be there, because there is a lot of emotions that go with sex, especially for women. And I can imagine if they've been traumatized and then unfortunately, new guy comes around, doesn't mean any problem, harm or anything, but then they have sex with that woman. All of a sudden she's crying or something because of past trauma. And it's like, whoa, like, what did I do as a dude? Like, what did I do? And she's sitting there crying. There's a whole bunch of psychological aspects that go to this. So yeah, it's deep as hell for sure.
I kind of like that subject, where past traumatic experiences can really hurt a relationship.
Yeah. If the person was, let's say, essayed, sex could be either traumatic thing or something that the person is obsessed with. It's a thing that a lot of people deal with differently. Kind of like how I said that my preferred method in the bedroom is rough sex because of my PTSD. A lot of other people, they could either have an aversion to sex or a deep attraction to sex.
China.
Yeah. Which question am I answering?
Your thoughts on, where Marianne just said she has trust issues.
And
do a lot of women have that?
A lot of women do. And that's one of the reasons why in between relationships, I didn't have anything to do with a guy because my first long-term relationship, he was one hell of a fuck up and probably the worst 4 years of my life.
Damn.
Because he was a drug addict, a cheater. I mean, he wasn't when we met, but that's what he turned into. And so it's like my trust issues were gone. Yeah, I had no trust in a guy. So that's why I took those couple months, and it took that time to rebuild trust into a man. So, I mean, you gotta build that trust before you think if you're in a one night stand it, do your thing. I mean, I got no problems with people doing that at all because that's what they choose to do. But it's like, you got to be able to build trust if you want a relationship.
Well, I think what we learned, Mike, for your final thoughts, not only, we joked around and stuff like that at the beginning of the show about a guy staying hard, but I think we learned that there's a lot of process involved and a lot of serious subjects that go into this.
As is everything, right? As oftentimes when we dive ourselves into something, and think about every step by step, you start going, oh my God, like there's more to this than I actually thought. And same thing with this subject. It kind of did that with me. And this is my final thought on this is and I'm going to be kind of repeating myself here, but yeah, that's how I feel on this. It's interesting. I don't know.
Cheeto, final thoughts.
Well, final thoughts. Sex can be very, very fun. That's all I can say about it.
I like that. I'm going to give you that. He's absolutely right. And once you start doing it, guys, you can't stop. It's weird. For the rest of your life,
just make sure it's consensual.
That's right.
Yeah.
Make sure of that part.
No,
Make sure she
no
says
means
okay.
No. No means no, people.
Right. No means no, guys.
Man. Well, that was a good show. We had some comedy in there, but we also had a lot of serious discussions on this. Don't forget, next Friday, same bat time, we'll be here on the BCAN podcast. Look for Mike's new YouTube channel. It's going to be a killer one, baby. We'll talk to y'all later.
I say goodbye, vamoose, adios, ciao, so long, get your hat jack.
#1 internet biker radio show is now available.